All right, everyone, I'm Airier, and today we're going to look at more Puffin Forest. This is going to be one of the very few episodes I missed, and there's no evidence to say otherwise, because I definitely was on top of this the entire time, and I was testing everyone who was very kind and told me exactly which ones I definitely didn't forget, because I definitely didn't forget. I was a testing. Yep, and other very believable and completely true things, yes. Today we're going to be looking at D&D story. Tragedy plus time equals more tragedy. This seems almost like a personal attack on our current D&D campaign. Yeah, I'm quickly finding out this title. Yeah, first campaign I've ever done, and already I know this is an accurate title. I'm feeling a bit personally attacked on this one. We're just going to jump right in. You guys know the deal. There's a link below to the original video. If anyone here doesn't know who Puffin Forest is, fix that! He's one of the 3 reasons I got into D&D in the first place. The other 2 being Dingo and Joe Cat. Hit him up. He's freaking awesome. When you're done, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe here as well. And if there's any other I definitely didn't forget, and I was testing people to know, I really appreciate people answering the test and letting me know which ones I definitely didn't forget. Yeah, that sounds believable. Yeah. Let's get started.
A while ago, I was dumpster diving through our old notes.
Notes.
After I got through the pages of screams from the 4th edition campaign, I made it to my first 5th edition game. It was actually kind of interesting flipping through the notes.
Oh, okay. He's meaning the notes for the actual game, or he's probably DMing or DM's notes. I thought he was doing notes for his actual D&D campaign videos, which I would love to see those too. Makes more sense this way, though.
We used to play the game, what we thought about it, and kind of comparing and contrasting the different styles.
Oh.
One of which was stats. We had all rolled for them.
Really? Really, Puffin? Do I don't... Strength, the arm. Intelligence, the head. Wisdom, the other side of the head. Dex, the hand. Speed, the foot. Constitution, the dick. Now, someone's going to say, no, it's the stomach. No, it's not. You know better. I'm not even touching this one. You know, that's probably the wrong choice of words to use here.
All rolled for them.
Hey, look at that one.
I dropped my lowest, 12, into my intelligence.
Lowest,
and I set about
12.
Playing the entire game like I was inept. Derp, I don't know how things work. And it wasn't until about 6 months later that the GM noticed the number of my sheep, and he was like, wait a second. I eventually told the others about it, NBD, but I'm actually kind of a big brain having person. Or wizard.
I hate everything he just said. And I kind of want to do it now. Like, seriously, can you imagine? It's like, oh yeah, I'm a really smart character, even though 12 is, I mean, technically 10 is supposed to be baseline normal, so 12 is pretty smart. But in D&D, no, it's not. And this is a guy who's playing an Intelligence 8 sorcerer. Yeah. I'm barely sentient. I make up for not knowing things by knowing a bunch of things really well, and then everything else very little. I want to play what he's doing right now, unironically. He's doing it because I think he might have made a mistake. This sounds like, he played it off as like, yeah, I'm actually very smart. I was testing you. Because we would never, ever have a guy who's making something up and just bluffing to cover it up, because no one would ever do that about anything like reading episodes.
Katya explained, yeah, about that. I rolled for stats too.
Yeah.
She proceeded to pick up a table and break it over her head.
Damn.
I could probably multi-class into a barbarian, fine. And that was where I found out we have approximately similar strength. Randomized stats are weird.
Yes, they are.
Some of the fights don't hold up as well if you know what the spells are.
Especially if you don't know how to arrange them.
There was one time we were fighting Slender Man. It was a dark night. There was lightning and rain. And
Wait. What? Slenderman? Is that a thing in D&D? Because I want to say it's homebrew. But the last time I said anything in a video about, okay, there's no way this is real, they would never do that. It was about a town called Hump Tulips. Guess who found out that was real? Yeah. So I'm just going to assume Slenderman's actually in D&D. I mean, hey, why not? There's Magic the Gathering D&D at this point, so... Well, they've had Theros in D&D. Why not Slenderman? It's probably the next step here. They've got Walking Dead in D&D because they have D&D with Magic, and Magic has Walking Dead in Magic. So by default, Walking Dead is now D&D, and sure, why not Slenderman? It's not even the biggest leap here. It's not even tendentially. I cannot say tendentially. Tendentially. There's no D in the word tendentially. Tendentially. Fuck me! Hi, everyone. Welcome to Airier has a massive breakdown because he knows a word is spelled wrong, and he still says it wrong despite that. It just... English major panic attack.
A rolling fog, and it was
Tangentially.
super creepy.
Oh, now I say it.
Slenderman's finger extended out, pointing to our bard.
Tipsy.
Something materialized above his head.
A ring?
A twisted crown. He tried to
Crown of
dodge out of
Madness?
the way, but the crown latched onto his head.
Ooh.
His eyes went blank. A dark aura emanated from him. Suddenly, his arms swung wildly out on their own. He was attacking us. The monster has used
Oh no! He became an accountant! I regret nothing.
mind magic to claim the bard for his side. Katya tried to pull the crown off of his head.
And?
It didn't work. Nothing we
Try
could do
cutting.
could wrest him free from his grasp.
Spell
The
magic.
twisted monster laughed maniacally,
Lol.
watching us fight amongst ourselves. Would it be forever? Would it be impossible to free our bard's mind from this monstrosity?
Let me guess. Roll save?
Nowadays, if I had seen something like that, I'd go, oh, Crown of Madness? Really? First point, why the bard? The Crown of Madness says that it lets an opponent use someone else's reaction to make a basic melee attack on them. What about
Oh.
a ranger? A rogue? A fighter? Any melee specialist would deal better damage. Since it's the bard, it's what? Rules as written, 1 damage?
Oh.
Maybe they let him draw his dagger out beforehand. Not technically allowed, but that's still only a D4. Come on! Hasn't he ever heard of the action economy? This guy has all these tentacles coming out of him. He could probably make 6 attacks or something. And instead he's getting, what, 4 damage? Besides, the bard still gets to use their main action.
Wait,
And
what?
in general, a boss monster casting a spell which needs concentration, not the best idea. With no minions, we have to attack him anyway, and there's no way it's going to have a duration longer than an hour since we're low levels. He's going to be using something which doesn't have a permanent effect, unless he decides to use one of those broken homebrew rules, which...
I just want to say right now, with everything Puffin saying, it's like, yeah, that makes sense, but also, I'm hoping the very next thing to come out is, by the way, here's the homebrew. Die! Is it going to? I doubt it. But considering he's literally, backseat GMing at this point, yeah. If I was a DM, I would do it. And by do it, I mean sudden, surprising homebrew. By the way, Slenderman can concentrate on multiple things. Yes, I guess you didn't know that about Slenderman. Yes. Also, if you're DMing Slenderman to start with, yeah. At that point, if you're going to have someone actually go up, it's like, oh, here's all the things you're doing wrong. Homebrew, on the fly, fuck them up. I mean, yes, he's making a very valid point if you're doing a very straightforward game like an Adventurers League where there are very solid rules you have to follow. But if you're on a private table, I think the GM just has carte blanche to say, guess who just got the bitch seat? I might be a bit sadistic when it comes to what I think a good GM would do. Just a lot, really a lot.
which I guess will allow...
Dead.
We even had an entire hostage situation where a sorcerer held someone at knife point for a really tense moment, which was slightly undercut by someone going, wait a second, don't daggers only do, like, 2 damage? Yes.
Unless
yes, they
narrative.
do. I'm aware of that. It kind of reminds me, one time I was running Call of Cthulhu session. One of the characters got stuck in a death trap, where they had walked into a grave. Once they were in, the entire thing filled with dirt instantly.
Oh.
It was kind of nice running Call of Cthulhu for a change, since they were playing regular humans and investigators. One of the players went, I run to the shed, grab a bunch of shovels, and dig them out. I definitely know that if I had been running D&D, the players' minds would have gone to, wait, is that a spell? I should be able to dispel magic as a trap to get him out? Does everyone have mold earth? We should be able to use that. Counterspell! It's a spell, right? The trap, it's acting as a move earth spell, right?
No.
Counterspell!
You wouldn't have seen it, wouldn't count.
I don't necessarily think that there's anything wrong with that.
Like everything they just said, I'm agreeing with, minus the counterspell. I may or may not have looked at the new wording on counterspell, but at least when it was more broken, because apparently it's been nerfed to hell, you have to be able to see the spell and recognize what the spell is to cast, like when it's being cast. So if you have a character who in homebrew or just in their own wacky gameplay casts spells in a way nobody has the fuck what they're doing, rules as written mean you don't actually know what they're doing until the spell goes off, so you can't counterspell it because you didn't know they were casting a spell. It's why the subtle spell meta magic is actually really damn good, because it makes a spell freaking incounterable. The only thing you would do is if they're like a physical component that can't be removed, that's the word. Then if you know that, there's a little leeway to know it can be countered. But if it's just verbal or somatic, yeah, you can't counterspell that shit anymore.
It's just, it's kind of refreshing for a change to play something different. It was a few months into the campaign that we actually had our first character death. 2 players had joined up to the party. Zarek the Cleric and Bodhi Tree Shadow.
What?
Adopted brothers, both raised by elven parents. We got ourselves into an intense fight. Eventually the group got hit with a cone of cold, and Bodhi died to the frost, turning into an ice sculpture.
Oh, did he shatter?
After the fight, we actually had to decompress.
Oh.
The players, not the characters. Picking up some food and talking about it. At first we were like, can we just retcon this? What do we do? And then as we talked more about it, the player realized, I didn't tell you guys this, but in his backstory, Bodhi was a survivor who hid away while his friends died. I think that he wouldn't have wanted to live through that again, and is happy he got to die protecting his friends.
Oh, damn.
There was an entire mini plot arc that spanned several sessions. We had getting the body back to his family. The parents had let them go on this adventure, saying, they're a bit young, don't you think it's going to be dangerous?
Okay, so, one, that's kind of depressing. Like, yeah, he's a survivor. He really has survivor's guilt and would rather be dead. That's pretty fucked up of it. I'm not going to lie. You went full on Shiro there. For anyone wondering, Shiro's divining trait in Fate Stay Night is that he has survivor's guilt. They never explain that well, and a lot of people in the fandom do not seem to understand what that is, but no, he has a lot of survivor's guilt. And that's just what happened there. Pretty nice on Puffin, though, to say, hey, the next part is going back to the elf parents, the people who live a long time, so the mayfly existence of a human isn't much, but they were expecting them to last maybe a couple decades more, and they're dead. Yeah. Does explain how guy with full beard and tiny little child look so easy as siblings, because by comparison, they are very much kids.
Oh, it's going to be fine. They're going out there to see the world.
And die
and then
horribly.
We come back a month later with their son in a body bag.
And missing part of his skull.
We had a long session involving them, talking about politics between high elves and wood elves. Zarek talking about their memories. The bush they played hide and seek behind. The tree they
so they're
used
adopted
for
wood elf,
archery
adopted
practice.
high elf.
Eventually, we buried the body and left to continue the adventure.
Wait, how old was he? Oh, he wasn't. So if he was a high elf and he's not even 30 years old yet. Oh, that is fucked up. That's not the equivalent of a kid dying. That's the equivalent of like a toddler dying. Oh, that is fucked up. Especially since he would still be reliving, if he has the very weird memory aspect, he'd still be reliving his time in paradise. So it would be kind of like being denied going back because he's already there, but he remembers it, but he does it. That would be, what the hell? Yeah, that's more just like the memory aspect of elves being weird. But interesting to get into politics. I don't think, has Puffin ever done that in his games? Like, as far as we've seen? I don't know. I kind of want more of that now.
I wish I could say it was a happy ending, but it wasn't. Another month later, tragedy struck again.
Who died this time?
In the final fight, the entire family fought to drive out the demonic invaders from their home. The father's wife died fighting to save the city, and his son, Zarek, got banished to another realm. Thinking his son was dead, and knowing that the mother was gone, as the last of his family, he slung her body over his shoulder, left, and that was the last we saw of him as he went into the woods and he lived out the last of his days in solitude.
The fuck, Puffin? I mean, that's sad on its own right. It's like, yeah, the characters you brought in and their players, we're going to make it hurt. And he said tragedy plus time equals more tragedy, but he just had to put on the small, little, sad piano music of, it's just bittersweet, but without the sweet. God, why am I actually sad about this? It's not even... Almost like this where you can tell Puffin Force is a really damn good DM because he could tell a good story. Okay, so I knew this was going to be a tragedy episode going into it. But I didn't expect it to go like that. I thought it'd be something along the lines of, yeah, here's something funny. And it's like, this is horrible. Laugh. This is horrible. And everyone's terrified, but it's kind of funny. No, this is going to be flat out. Yeah, this is fucked up. We know it's fucked up. And whenever they eventually, maybe in a different campaign, bring back the banished son, he has literally no family to go to anymore. And he thinks there is, and he's wrong. That's fucked up. I mean, it's D&D. You have two types of DMs. You have the DMs who are like, yeah, this is cool. We're going to fuck around. And then you have the DMs who are like, this is cool. I'm going to fuck you around. Dingo, her DM, her boyfriend, husband, I actually don't know, is more of the I'm going to fuck you around. And apparently, Puffin Force, both when he DMs and when he's DM'd, at least in this instance, was fucked around. Ooh. There's a level of realism there. It's like, yeah, personal trauma means I'm not going to come back. I didn't want to come back. I don't know why I went British on that one. But just, it's a good idea to how to strengthen the role-playing aspect to make it more believable. But at the same time, I have mixed feelings. I like super gritty aspects like that. But you almost need a censor or like a warning for yourself at that point, because like, yeah, prepare to have feelings. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it's good that they can pull it out, and God help you. If you can have a GM that can do that reliably, that's a really damn good GM. But it would really come down to, yes, everything he said, really good. Great example. Take it as something you should do in your games. I will hopefully not recommend this to my current GM because he has way too much ammunition already to fuck over the characters of that game. Yeah. He probably saw this video already. I just realized. Oh, shit. Yeah, I wasn't expecting this to hit that hard. I was expecting to be more lighthearted and making a joke about tragedy. See, this is horrible. Ha 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 ha. No, it wasn't. And now I'm processing it. Maybe not even well, but I'm processing it. Yeah. Well, the same. If you haven't already, link below, original video. It's Puffin Forced. You know he's good, and he hits harder than I expected this video. After that, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. And if there's any others that I definitely intentionally left out from his series, let me know. Otherwise, I think we'll move on to Z Bradshaw. Z Bradshaw? What is his channel's name? I probably should look that up. I got a week to figure it out. All the same. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.